Yo, what is going on, guys? This is Jack YGO here today. I'm coming at you guys today with a fairly requested video. I've had people message me comments and stuff about having an updated DDD combo video. The combos are going to be fairly structured as towards what I've always been doing, how the basic combos have always been, but I'll show you what and why I'm going into now. If that makes sense, but like geared toward what's going on, like what I've updated with the combo, why I'm not playing certain things, what happens if you get hand trapped twice, things like that, and I'll like go over stuff like that. I just finished up local tonight. We're just kind of having some fun. There's only a few of us. It's basically just us buddies playing. I'm usually pretty busy throughout the week, so I figured since it's been done fairly early, I mean it's still kind of late 3, but I mean still it's been done fairly early, so I thought this would be a good time to film this, so why not now? Yeah, so I'm basically just gonna jump into the combos. There's not much for me to say. This is gonna be the exact same list I played for the YCS. Still disappointed I didn't make day 2, because when I really think about it, it's like I really should have went X2 from that last round, but unfortunately sometimes desires can really bite you in this deck. Yeah, that's how it is when you play DDD. Sometimes you can go undefeated the whole like first 5 rounds, and then all of a sudden you just have your luck goes south and you can't do anything about it, right? So like I said, this will be the exact same list I played, and yeah, I'll just jump right into these combos, break it down each combo I'm doing to you guys, and I hope you guys enjoy this. See you in a bit. Okay guys, so yeah, I'm gonna demonstrate the combo video. I'm gonna start off by going your 2-card combos, and then go throughout like the 3 and then your full combo. So I'll just break those down as I go through. I have these out here because I'm gonna show you how to play through hand traps, like high impact ones like Nibiru. I don't have Droll here because Droll is more so like, okay, you could possibly have all your stuff in hand already. Like Droll can hurt you. Droll does hurt you a lot sometimes, but sometimes like you can have full combo through a Droll, so I'm not gonna bother putting Droll here. Nibiru can always hit you really hard. Ash is always like a problem card. Like everyone knows this deck can die to Ash. Bell's a huge card. Bell hitting like a Necro Slime, or I'll demonstrate like through Necro Slime. I've had someone hit out smarter player hit Alexander. The virtual player I played hit my Alexander, which is a pretty smart play. There's stuff like that you can watch out for. And this is actually just going to be Effect Veiler. I don't know where my Effect Veilers are right now. They're probably back at my my parents' house now. I have a house here now, so yeah, but we're just say. Anyways, so yeah, I'll put these to the side, and I'm just going to demonstrate the 1 to 2 card combo kind of thing now. Okay guys, so I am going to demonstrate the 2-card combo, that the best 2-card combo this build has available to itself. So certain builds can have like, there's different ways with DD, like you can play DD so many different ways where 2-card combos can actually be really beneficiary. In this deck it's okay, but 2-card combo can actually lead to completely locking your opponent out and having a really good follow-up depending on your luck, or you can end off safe with a safe read and stuff, and I'll show you what I mean in a second. So what I'm going to do is lay out my extra deck so you guys know exactly what I'm dealing with here when I'm playing. If you haven't seen the deck profile for this exact list, it's my YCS like day 1 top 32 video. It's posted just before I posted this, so a couple days. And yeah, just go take a look at that. But just if you haven't seen it or don't want to see it, I'll just show you what I'm working with here. So we got Chaos Ruler here, Ulti Hulk here, double Flame King Genghis, 1 big Genghis, Boral Sword, Harbor Dragon, Earthling King Calamity, Restrict, Lenny-Wise Restrict, Gust King Alexander, Crystal Wing Synchro Dragon, Cross Sheep, I already said Big Angus, Shenshen, Formula Synchron, Siegfried, Satellite Warrior. So that's what we're working with here. Like I said, it's probably better to show you guys what I'm working with so you know exactly what options I have available to me, right? Or why I'm not summoning certain things and not wasting certain resources, right? Because I'm not playing like Gilgamesh, so I might not summon, like trigger certain effects to get extra bodies on board, right? Or Appaloosa, you know what I mean, right? So, so here's the best 2-card starter, or if you're usually not gonna have to just go off 2 cards. This deck is built to just grab combo pieces, but in the weird sense you do, like really brick, and you get something like this. Well, I'll show you. This is the best 2-card combo this deck has available to it. So you're gonna start off normal summon Kepler. Kepler's gonna search. You're gonna search Gate. Gate effect searches Swirl Slam. You're going to use Swirl Slime Effective Fusion Summon, reveal that. You're going to use that in Lamia. You're going to go ahead and go into Genghis. Now you're going to use Lamia here, assuming these are your only two DD cards / contracts. Sending the gate is cost to special summon itself. You're not going to trigger Genghis here because, like I showed you, I'm not playing the Gilgamesh Link. This would make sense to summon this if I was playing the Gilgamesh Link, but there's no point in summoning this Swirl Slime. You're better off just keeping it in the graveyard, and I'll show you why in a minute. So you're going to banish, you're going to link. This is banished because it uses its own effect, special summon itself. You're going to go to Ulti Hulk. Ulti Hulk will use its effect. You're going to summon the Ghost. Still not triggering Genghis here. You're probably not going to trigger Genghis at all this turn. Now, you summon Ghost because now you have access to any level 8 synchro you want. So here, if you want to play it safe, use these two, and then you can go into a Siegfried. Summon everything. So one key point is in this format, now that like if you're playing like remote duels and stuff or like live duels, everyone's gonna have a playset of Lightning Storm because it's so affordable now. So just put everything in defense position because they're not gonna most likely they're not gonna get to the battle phase with you, right? They're not gonna be able to attack over your cards. They already have pretty good defense, so it's not worth it. Even Crystal, we can just throw everything in defense position because Lightning Storm is a card. So yeah, if you want to play it safe, go into Siegfried and Hulk. But if you're like me and you're gonna pray for the best because you only have a 2-card combo and you break really hard, I'm gonna take the best advantages I can off that. I'm gonna go into Ruler, and the reason why this is really strong is because, well, for one, I can go Chainlink 1, use this, Chainlink 2 Ghost. I'm gonna send another copy of Swirl because more so for my follow up, I'm gonna want another Swirl because part of this combo, depending on what I hit, I'm actually gonna use the Swirl as you'll see in a second. But the Ghost is gonna send another copy of the Swirl Slime. In this instance, so you send Swirl Slime and just to fill your grave, and this will also mill your deck so you can hit more cards that you want, right? So you always go Chainlink 1 Go or Chainlink 1 this guy, Chainlink 2 Ghost. Now I made it so the best cards that I can mill are on the top of my deck because I want to show you the most you can utilize off the 2 cards. So like I said, I'm kind of risking because I don't know what I have here, but all I've used so far is the Swirl Slime Fusion Summon effect and the Lamia to revive herself. And I'll show you what I'm talking about here. So, gonna mill a bunch of cards. I did have, I'm gonna pretend I just milled another DD card, like any DD card, like, I don't know, let's say Lamia, best case scenario, let's say Copernicus, I don't know. Or let's say best case scenario is actually always Kepler, because Kepler is just the best card in our deck. So, well, what do we have here? So, like I said, this is best case scenario. This isn't best case scenario, but this is really good. So you're going to let Necro hit the graveyard, and you're going to take the Kepler. So these will hit graveyard. Now, since you haven't used Swirl Slime effect here, and you haven't used a Necro Slime here, you're going to go Necro Slime using this in the Genghis. These are going to Fusion Summon, and you're going to go into Big Genghis here. Now what you're going to do is go Banish Swirl Slime. So now that you banish this, and Swirl Slime is really good for a follow-up, right? Like, because it banishes, and it can summon like a Ragnarok, revive this thing. It's actually pretty crazy. So, banish, special summon, Chainlink 1, because you really want this to resolve, and you go Chainlink 2. And Chainlink 2 is going to search your gate, so you have the gate for next turn for searching. And this is going to revive Ghost. And this board doesn't look very intimidating, but what this is on your, you're going to pass on that, so you have follow-up for next turn, you have the gate and whatever else is in your hand, the bricks, I guess, because you're only going 2-card combo. Hulk will tag itself out. You go into the Formula Synchron. I usually leave it in the main monster zone just because I don't want it filling up the extra. Formula, you're going to skip the Formula draw. You're going to see if they have a response on the Formula Synchron. Summon, you're going to chain to its own summon. It's Chainlink 1. You need to hit Chainlink 1 on Formula Synchron to be able to Synchro Summon and not miss timing on the card. So you're going to use this, these 3. You're going to try to go into this as fast as you can because you do not want your opponent playing here. And you go into Calamity. So you summon Calamity. Calamity cannot be responded to. If you want to, you can use Ghost again. Probably not because you already have the Swirl Slime, so not a big deal. You're probably going to win the next turn as long as everything is okay. Calamity is going to lock them out of their turn. And for follow-up purposes, you have the gate that can search out the Ragnarok. So next turn you can search out Ragnarok, revive Ragnaroks that revives this. And then you can special summon the ruler by banishing a light and a dark, and this will recycle your Necro Slime, and then you can like go into a Boral Sword. You have game, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's a 2-card combo. You can get the lock depending on what you mill. Like I said, if you're like me, you're going 2-card combo. You're not gonna play safe. You're just gonna try and mill whatever you can because you still have resources. You can still use things like the Swirl Slime, right? To special summon like the card that you milled and grabbed off of the ruler. And if you put Necro Slime in graveyard, which you actually do quite a bit because you play 3 copies and you're already down a bunch of cards in your deck, you're just going to be able to lock them out because you can revive the, you'll have ruler out, you can revive your level 2 tuner. So yeah, that's the 2-card combo, the best possible case scenario. And yeah, we'll move on to the next combo. Okay guys, welcome to combo number 2 where we're going to demonstrate a 3-card combo here. So we have Kepler. We're always going to just show like ourselves like the best way to 3-card combo. Kepler, Swirl Slime, Lamia. A weaker version of this would be to have like a Necro Slime instead of the Kepler. Because Kepler itself is a body and then grabs a body, right? So it's actually full combo. So this deck, full combo, absolute full combo, is based off of these 3 cards. So I'm just going to skip like if you have like the... Like this, I'll just show this because it's going to be a really long video if I just show absolutely everything. But this gives you a general census of what's going on here. So this is full combo of 3. Anyways, we'll get right into this. So the first thing you're obviously going to do is normal summon Kepler. No Ash, cool. So I don't have my cards organized right now. It's kind of late, so I'm just kind of just winging through this. So yeah, we're grabbing the Gate. Gate's going to use effect. And we're going to grab a Necro Slime here. Grab Necro Slime, or if you want to, you can grab Copernicus to chain block your Genghis from a Ghost Bell or anything. So yeah, maybe this is the better option because you can stop a Ghost Bell with Copernicus, stuff like that, right? So we're gonna go Swirl Slime effect, fuse them with Lamia. If you think they might have a Crow, just go for the. You don't want them banishing your tuner. Just literally go for like Necro Slime or whatever, right? But just keep Lamia in your hand if you think they have a DD Crow and they're gonna shotgun it for whatever reason. But yeah, DD Crow is very insane against this deck. So you're gonna summon your Genghis. Now you're gonna banish the Swirl Slime. You're gonna summon Copernicus. Now you're gonna go chain link 1 Genghis because this is priority. You want to bring this back, and you're gonna go chain link 2 Copernicus. This will foolish burial your Necro Slime. So that's resolving as chain link 2, and your Lamia is gonna special summon itself back from the Genghis effect. Now you're gonna synchro summon first. You're gonna go to the level 7 synchro. And so you're gonna go to the Alexander. You want to synchro first, just synchro 5. Some like bad players will usually try and Nibiru you here, so you might as well just go into synchro because if you have access to the synchro, then it's an easy Crystal Wing access, right? So always go into the synchro first as your 5th summon when you're going this route, because this is the way to do your full combo. Your other 2 bodies will be used for a Cross Sheep. Any 2 bodies will be used for Cross Sheep. Now what you do here is reveal Necro Slime, fusion summon. You always use big Genghis, or I always use Genghis here for this combo anyways. Special summon big Genghis. This triggers Alexander. You're not triggering Cross, you trigger Alexander. Revive the Lamia. Now you're going to use these 2, and you're going to summon Crystal Wing. Crystal Wing summon will trigger Cross Sheep. I've had one person, I think, question me this in the YCS, but as long as you explain the effect, people know it happens in sequence. Something is summoned to it. It's pointing to a synchro and a fusion, so it'll do attack boost plus a special summon. So you're going to special summon this. They gain 700 attack, all of them. And then Lamia summon is going to trigger Big Genghis to summon Alexander. You're going to use these 2. You're going to go into Ulti Hulk. Ulti Hulk will use effect. You don't need Ulti Hulk. You can just have an Ultra Rare Hulk. I just have that because OTS store. So now here, it depends what you want to go for. So I'm always going to go into the Crystal Wing over the Siegfried here. Unless I know what I'm playing. If I'm playing against like something that's like straight up like Sky Striker, maybe I might go into the Alexander because they can always like Widow Anchor your Formula Synchro on, so it might be smarter to go into Alexander here if you know you're playing against Striker. But Hulk can either summon a Lamia here, obviously, any tuner, right? So you have the option of going into Lamia or Ghost, and I'll show you how to do the combo with both of them. So we're going to start off doing the Ghost, and it'll be the extra deck. We'll do the extra deck lock thing first, right? So we're going to go to Ghost, And once you summon Ghost, all you have to do is go Lamia effect, send your Genghis' cost, special summon, and you're going to make your ruler here, right? And you make ruler here, ruler does the mills, you grab the card, you have your gate for follow up next turn, and you have Hauk gives you the lockout play with the Hot Red Dragon Calamity. And and then you have this as a monster negate. So that's how you can do that combo. But if you're gonna do, so let's rewind it a bit. This is here, this goes back in the deck. Hauk uses effect, special summons a Lamia. Now, this is how I'm doing it. A lot of people will go Borload, like the combo people used to do a lot was the Borload, Savage Dragon, grab the Cross Sheep, and then they go into the Gilgamesh link. This is what I'm doing. So I summon this, I go into Genghis, this is Siegfried. I go into Siegfried, so you have 1 negate, 2 negate, monster negate, spell trap negate, and then you're going to go Lamia effect, sending preferably the spare card you have in your hand, but if you have to, just send the gate, especially because you're going to have 2 draws because of Hauk, right, more than likely, and you're going to summon this cost. This banishes, I don't know why there's a banished Lamia here, it's probably from, I don't know, whenever. So you're going to go Synchro 9, and you're going to go into a Shenshen. Again, everything in defense position. Now, I find this board is, you don't lose resources, so you keep everything you want in grave. You still have your Alexander and everything, your Big Genghis, so it's good for follow-up when you just don't go into like Gilgamesh to banish, then you summon the guy that banishes the 2 from graveyard special summons. I really don't think that's the proper move for this format, and you take an extra 2,000 damage, right? It's not, damage isn't huge in this deck, but it sometimes comes up, unfortunately. But the reason why I go into Shenshen now and don't even bother going to Gilgamesh is because having 2 negates plus Hauk, so Hauk, even though things get banished, and you can summon like Formula here, Formula draws, whatever, and then even though these will get banished, I'll usually go these 2. Even though they get banished, Satellite Warrior comes out, and it's a target banish and comes out as 3,500 because you have a Synchro already engraved. So that's really strong, a target banish on top of 2 negates. So you got to think about that. So you summon, like this board here, I find is very scary for a lot of people. Now obviously not every, like Tri-Brigade holds up pretty good against a Shenshen, but I find most deck, like Prankits themselves cannot deal with this. Sky Striker is a huge problem with this. Like Ad Ignister has a huge problem with this. Like many decks right now have a problem with Shenshen, and that's why I started playing it again, because like I said, a monster negate, a spell trap negate, a Hauk that has a pop, and a Shenshen that can recurs itself really easily in this deck. Like I say, follow up, you can just banish any 2 cards basically, and it comes back, and it recycles your banished cards. This is why I'm going for this combo. I think Shenshen is just a nuts card, and then backing it with 2 negates and a target banish is just crazy. So that's the full combo I normally go for if I'm going in blind. But like I said, you can also go for the lock combo that a lot of people know of too. It's all up to you, but that's your full combo of this deck. So yeah, we'll get right into some other stuff now. Okay guys, so here's a random hand I just put out. This is just a completely random hand that I just drew. I'm still setting up, so there we go. So we have the Ash Blossom, and we have the, this is the Effect Veiler. I don't know where my Effect Veilers are, like I just said, but Ash and Effect Veiler. So we're going to pretend our opponent has this in here. We don't know that mentally, but essentially someone will have 2 hand traps for us. This has happened quite a bit where someone actually Ash and Veilered me during the tournament, so and I'll show you why I can push through it pretty easily. It really depends because we have good draw power and we have things like talents in our decks or ways to answer, right? So go Desires, and if they have Ash, they're always going to Ash the Desires. Most people will, because no one's really playing Gamma right now either, and regardless you can still banish a driver off of a Gamma. They're going to Ash that, so see you later Ash, that's fine. Now our hand isn't essentially good enough to just go talents, let's see your hand. It's always nice to say talents, see your hand in DDD, but we're going to have to just make it so we're going to draw 2. And the other really nice thing about talents is that it's almost essentially for Desires. It's like, basically, it's a Call by the Grave for Desires. You just resolve your Desires, right? So that's also really good. We're going to go Upstart Goblin. So these are pretty good draws, Upstart. So that's a pretty good draw as well. We're going to still keep digging. We're going to go for Allure here. So Allure's going to make us draw 2. And we're going to banish I'll banish Copernicus here. And we're gonna go for yet another alert here. We're just gonna be risky and just go alert. So Called by the Grave is an amazing card to draw. And we have Swirl Slime. So what I'm gonna do here is I'm just gonna go banish the DD Ghost. Now it looks like we have full combo here, and we have access to Call By, so we have another answer to Hand Trap, which is actually really nice. So yeah, just because our draw power, we can draw into things like this, right? So Instant Fusion is also another card we can hit, so that's usually pretty good. So what we're gonna do here is we're gonna go gate effect search. We're gonna search the Lamia. Now what we're gonna do, so since we have Necro, Where Art Thou, so we have 3 pieces in hand. So if we can normal summon with the Where Art Thou, we're gonna do that so we don't burn, right? So we're gonna go Swirl Slime effect here, and we're gonna send this in the Necro so we can skip by the DD Crow. We don't want to waste Call by the DD Crow if we don't have to, right? So they'll probably try to hit it with us eventually for the tuner, but yeah, if they have it. So we're gonna go Genghis, banish this Swirl Slime to special summon a Lamia. Genghis is gonna trigger special summon the Necro. They're usually just gonna go Dracula. No, they're gonna go Effect Veiler here more than likely. You have the answer. You have Called by the Grave. You're gonna drop it. So yeah, we're just gonna drop that because we have Called by the Grave in hand, and just because our consistency, it was a good thing we hit this, right? So yeah, so you're gonna special that. You're gonna go Where Art Thou. This is gonna search you a level 1. This searches Kepler. Off you go. Kepler's your 4th body. Kepler searches an extender, so Swamp King, and keep in mind, so let's just keep going here actually. This can prove out all the hand traps pretty much. So Kepler searches the Swamp King, right? Let's say they also have a Nibiru in hand, okay? So let's say on top of all those, they also have a Nibiru. We have our full combo here. We search the Swamp King, right? So we're just gonna go proceed with our combo. We're gonna go into the Alexander. We're gonna link 2 to Cross Sheep. Cross Sheep comes out. We're gonna reveal Necro Slime with the Genghis. We're gonna fusion summon here. We're gonna go into Big Genghis, triggers Alexander, specials Lamia. Now hold. Any good player will Nibiru you here because they know there's no threat until this comes out. They're gonna go Nibiru. This is your 3rd hand trap. You're like, okay, well, I gotta do this then. All of these just go. Well, what do? You get a big Nibiru token. They're gonna summon this in attack or defense. I'm not sure. Let's just say this is just Nibiru. So Nibiru comes out, right? You have a token. Well, what do you do here? What you're going to do here is you're gonna go Swamp King. Swamp King effect, fusion summon. You're gonna banish Genghis and your only other copy, Alexander. You're gonna banish these. You're gonna go into a Genghis here. You're gonna go into 3rd Genghis, and then you're gonna go Lamia effect, sending the Swamp King as cost, special summon. You're gonna link. This is gone. Banish. Gonna summon Hulk, and we're gonna just use Hulk, assuming we have. I don't think I banished Ghost. Nope, I didn't banish Ghost. Oh, sorry, we banished Ghost off the alert. So let's just say we didn't. Like this was just any other DD because essentially this could have just been any other DD or dark card, right? So we're gonna special the Ghost here, and this gives us Siegfried. This can either give us a Siegfried, or we can focus so we can have a Siegfried spell trap negate with 3 pops because we have this formula, this, and we also have the. Oh, sorry, we only have the 2 pops. So you're probably just better off going into the Siegfried because you'll have 2 pops and a spell trap negate. Now this could actually also be Crystal Wing, summon of defense obviously, if this extender wasn't a Swamp King. If the Swamp King will give you the Siegfried, the Ragnarok. If you open a Ragnarok, instead of doing this, you have this, and you have the Lamia back in grave. You're gonna, and these 2 go back in grave. What you're gonna do is you're gonna scale Ragnarok, and you're gonna go like Lamia effect here. You're gonna send the Swamp King, special summon. You're gonna go Ragnarok effect. You're gonna target the Genghis. You're gonna special summon Big Genghis in defense. You're gonna go 1 and 2. You're gonna link the Nibiru token and the Lamia. And you're gonna use Hulk. Hulk's gonna use the effect. special summon a Lamia. You're gonna use you're gonna use Genghis effect because Big Genghis is not triggered yet. Keep that in mind. You're gonna summon Alexander. You might as well just summon the Big Genghis here because it's an extra body. If it stays out on board, next turn to follow up to kill, right? For spell trap negation on your turn as well, right? And this, now you have access to your Crystal Wing. So we were able to make this. Now we didn't have Ragnarok. We drew into we were able to search the Swamp King. So in that case, going through 3, we were able to go end on the Siegfried and the Hulk through all 3 of these. Yeah, that's pretty crazy because we can still do this with the proper hand, and that hand wasn't that good, but it ended up shaping out to be good itself. You know what I mean? And the only reason why I put the Ragnarok out is just to show you how to actually extend if you get in the beard and you have a Ragnarok. You can still do Crystal Wing with the Hulk and this through if you have Ragnarok as an extender in your hand. It's pretty crazy. Yeah, doesn't just lose to an actual case. So I'll do one more for you guys, okay? And it'll be with the Ghost Spell. Okay, guys. So here comes the final combo. I'm getting a new phone like really soon. My phone is like so bad for storage to the point where like I can't really make any videos that are more than half an hour long. So I'm not sure how long this is. So I'm just trying to keep this somewhat short, as in like 30 minutes less short. But I'm just gonna do a random hand here. That last hand I did show you was random. It just my phone, like I said, like is not very good, and it just decided to stop filming. So I decided, you know what, this is a good example hand. So I'll just lay out the hand and then see how this turns out. It turned out pretty good, as you can see. So yeah. Now what we're gonna do here is we're gonna go Ash and Ghost Spell. These are 2 very high impact cards against our deck, and if we don't open good enough, this can definitely shut us out. Even a single Ghost Spell can really hinder you if they know when to do it. But I'll show you I'll just do a random test hand and see if I can prove out if we can play around an Ash and a Ghost Spell, which would be pretty interesting. If it's a really bad hand, I'm just gonna mulligan it. But if it's got some fighting chance, we're just gonna play it through, and I'll show you how I play through stuff like this. Now I'm not planning on playing through. I don't know they have this in their hand, but you know what I mean. Like you got to be prepared for someone to have these cards in their hand, right? Because Sky Striker will more than likely have stuff like this for you. So yeah, we'll see how this goes. So half cut. Thank you very much. And we're gonna draw the 5 cards. Awesome. So wow, we have a pretty good hand here. So I think this has a fighting chance. So let's go through this. Into the Void. Draw the card. This is great. Now, a thing a lot of people, if they don't know the deck, they're probably gonna Ash this, and it happens a lot. Didn't happen to me too much during the tournament, but it happens a lot when they have the Ash, and you just gotta kind of make it seem like, oh, my hand's not amazing. It's kind of like hinder a bit, and just go Kepler using Effective Search. Say they Ash this, that's fine. We have Gate in our hand, so we're gonna go Gate. Effective Search doesn't really matter. No one's really gonna stop at Gate. You might as well just go use Gate before the talents, and they're like, okay, they have the freaking combo here. DD Lamia, and what do you know? We have a triple tactics talents. After that, triple tactics. Let's see the hand. We have full combo. Tactics is going to let us see their hand. Say we know what they're playing now, like exactly what they have to play against our board. We know how to tailor our board to what they're playing, and we're just going to take out the other problem in their hand, which is Ghost Spell. Now, let's say this is in our hand. Let's just say this is a random card, not talents. Let's say this is 1 for 1. I don't know, like a random card, okay? So let's say they have Ghost Spell. Still, let's just say we're trying to play around a Ghost Spell here, right? So we're not gonna pretend we have answers all the time. We're gonna say, okay, we could answer an Ash because our hand was good enough. Because normally this hand is, you always have an answer to Ash because you're normally consistent enough to play around an Ash without answers. So we're gonna go Swirl Slime here. We're gonna use these. And we're gonna go, now Bell's more popular than Crow, so honestly I'll probably end up sending the Lamia if I have the Copernicus hand to chain block. So we're gonna summon the Genghis. We're gonna go Swirl Slime, Special, Chainlink 1, Chainlink 2 to chain block because Genghis can get Belled. We're gonna chain block it, we're gonna send. We're gonna send off Copernicus here, we're gonna send Necro, we're gonna buy the Lamia. So random card in the hand. We're going to Synchro Summon here. We're going to go into. So we're just seeing. Oh, here we go. Alexander. Gonna link to. And I'll show you an exact replay of what happened against the virtual player I played in round 7. Oh, this is not the same card. This is the wrong link. Sorry, it's kind of late. Kind of just playing random cards here. Cross Sheep comes out. Now we're gonna go Necro Slime. This was able to resolve. So he let that resolve. And I never actually seen this before, but it was actually pretty good. So I summon this. Alexander triggers, targets the Lamia. He decides, I'm going to Ghost Spell this. And I was like, okay, that kind of caught me off guard, right? So what are we going to do here? So let's see our options here. So they use their Ghost Spell, and we have options here. So what we can do is we're probably not going to be able to summon we will actually be able to do this, but yeah, it depends, because this Lamia is going to get banished, so Cross Sheep probably won't be able to trigger. So what we're going to do here is we're going to go Lamia effect, sending the gate as cost. And then Cross Sheep will not be able to trigger because we have nothing in our graveyard. And we're going to go using... Oh, sorry. This is the wrong card. Kind of going all over the place now. So we're going to use those two. We're going to summon Hulk. Hulk will use the effect. We are going to special summon Lamia. Now Lamia can't use his effect, and that's why the Ghost Spell is pretty good here, because Genghis is kind of just sitting here now, right? Now, it really depends. We have, the reason why I didn't send the reason why I sent the gate is because I have 1-for-1 in my hand right now. If I didn't have 1-for-1 in my hand, I'd probably just send this for my follow-up next turn. So let's say this is let's pretend we don't know what the card is. So I'm going to send Genghis because Genghis isn't doing me much right now. The only thing it is stopping is Imperm, but it really depends what you want to play around here. If you want Recursion, or you're just going to take the risk that they have an Imperm. So I'm going to go for Recursion here just so I can search for next turn and kill my opponent, essentially. And our best option, this is what I was doing against the virtual player I said, we're going to go into a Crystal Wing, just summon defense. So Bell is a very high impact card if they know how to use it right. Like I said, when they use it on the Alexander, it's actually pretty good, but it's also really high impact if they use it on the Necro Slime. Regardless, you're probably going to end up on the same board. So that's how you play around Ghost Spell. You're probably only going to get this, but you still have the ability to do negation and 3 pops with a draw and then a search next turn. So yeah, that's how you play through hand traps, man. Like I said, many times this deck is consistent enough to play through hand traps. That's how I built it. And cards like Talents, I have 5 answers to hand traps, 3 Talents, Call By, and Instant Fusion. It's how we answer hand traps, man, and honestly it helps so much. Seeing your opponent's hand when you still have combo because they did a stupid Ash on you is just so punishing, and going second, this card really helps and stuff like that. But I hope you guys like the combos. I'm going to go to bed. This combo video, I hope you guys really helped. I try to make it as in-depth as possible, but all the possibilities of what you could see in possible tournaments and stuff like that. And yeah, I hope this helps, guys, and I will see you whenever I make another video. See you later.